Good evening and thank you for joining us for KX News at 10. I'm Jordan Adams. Today comes the conclusion of at least one chapter in a case we've been following for more than 2 years. The family of Carly Beatty, the Texas A&M student who was killed by a drunk driver back in 2019, is one step closer to getting justice. The man responsible for her death was sentenced to 15 years in prison today. However, a conclusion doesn't always bring closure. KX reporter William Johnson has our story.
This is a case that's been several years in the making, and today the victim and the defendant's families both showed up as the decision has been made. Today, Pedro Puga, now 20 years old, learned he would be serving at least half of 15-year sentence for the killing of Texas A&M student Carly Beatty. On September 14, 2019, Beatty was walking home with friends when Puga, who was just 17 years old, was drunk and high on cocaine, hit her with his car near the intersection of University Drive and Texas Avenue in College Station. Puga drove away from the scene and later ran from responding officers but was caught a short time later. Beatty died 10 days later from her extensive injuries. She was a sophomore studying to be a veterinarian at the university. Her family describes her as a simple girl who had simple goals and dreams, a true light in the world.
I can tell you this, I know that Damien is terribly remorseful for what happened. Despite the public clamor to kind of just throw him away.
On February 18, 2022, Puga pleaded guilty in the case, part of a plea deal that had been discussed with the Beatty family before putting it officially on the table.
There's no guarantees on what's going to happen, and then the possibility if we would have to come back and try it a second time to try and get the appropriate punishment for it.
It was a decision that, while bringing some sort of closure to the case, was something that hardly brings peace to those who are grieving.
They'll never have Carly back, and that's something that they can't replace. There was a lot of fear. There's some concerns about the trial and having to go through that. That's part of what weighed into our consideration, talking to them about what would be an appropriate resolution of the sentence.
It got to me throughout the entire thing. I have a daughter who was Carly's age. And I just sat there kind of listening and frankly kind of silently praying that I never found myself in that position.
The Beatty family has started a nonprofit called Carly's Way. It's an animal rescue, something that she was committed to during her short life. As for Carly's family, they're still grieving. Carly's mother specifically spoke today in court saying that she's going to miss the memories she made with her daughter and the memories she won't ever get a chance to make either. Reporting here in Bryan, William Johnson, KAGS News.
While the sentence is hardly closure for those whose lives have been changed by Carly's death, her family says they are relieved the person responsible admitted to what he had done and will serve time for his actions.